What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today we're going to talk about this brand new EP from MC Ren entitled Osiris. Yeah, the villain in black is back, and it's a Compton thing. So MC Ren is a West Coast pioneer and hip-hop legend who has been doing it since 1987 as a member of the iconic West Coast rap group NWA. Now, when it comes to lyricism, MC Ren is one of the most underrated West Coast MCs, especially from his generation. I think most would agree that he was the best lyricist from NWA after Ice Cube had departed. So it has actually been 13 years since MC Ren had released any solo material. His last project, Ren Incarnated, had dropped back in 2009. Now, my favorite MC Ren project would have to be The Villain in Black from 1996. That Mad Scientist single got heavy play for me back in 96. But getting right into this brand new EP entitled Osiris, it contains 7 songs and lasts approximately 27 and a half minutes. All of the production was handled by The Chill from the legendary group Compton's Most Wanted. The Chill has also produced for another Compton legend, MC who also dropped an EP not too long ago that I didn't get a chance to touch upon. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. This thing kicks off with an intro with what sounds like demonic voices spoken backwards. It somewhat puts me in the frame of mind of early Bone Thugs intros on Ruthless Records, so that was the kind of vibe that this was giving me. The first actual song is Keep It Gangsta, which has a bright and bouncy G-Funk beat that sounds like it could have been dusted off from the 2000s. Here, Ren is bringing us that raw West Coast, no frills rap he's putting on for Hub City, the east side of Compton. Throughout, MC Ren provides some street braggadocio and some slick wordplay. There are even faint vocals from Corrupt on the hook. MC Ren states, "Peace to KRS, peace to CM Dub. This that shit you play in a lowrider fuck club." All in all, it's a solid first song that definitely lets you know that the West Coast is in the building. Track 3 is Osiris, in which The Chill and producer Furhan flip the classic Raekwon and RZA ice cream sample. Now, historically, I've never really loved when other artists have used this sample because I feel that no one has ever come close to the RZA version. So while this particular record was cool, it did lose some points with me for having such an overused sample. Maybe I'm being too picky, but it is what it is. However, on this track, Ren is calling out whack rappers, frauds, and busters. It wasn't the craziest lyrically, but he does establish his presence as this true OG, reminding us that the villain is indeed back. Right after is the track Fire, featuring Corrupt, the Kingpin. The two rock over an up-tempo bass heavy banger with a slick reggae sample. The beat definitely goes hard. Corrupt does attack this production with his signature lyrical miracle style, although I didn't love how he took up space on his verse in the sense that he stopped and started many times. However, the two are basically reminding us that they scorch tracks and bring heat rocks whenever they get on the mic. I'd say from a purely production standpoint, this is definitely one of the highlights. Then there is the song The News, which I would consider to be one of the standouts from this EP. Here, Ren is speaking on the recent spike in crime and violence in LA. But in fact, all major cities across the US have experienced a similar rise in violence since the pandemic. You know, it's a war going on outside no man is safe from. Ren is essentially telling the out-of-towners and the young gentrifiers to stay out of LA because there's a good chance that they'll get their asses robbed. And it was kind of funny to hear the vocal clips of these visibly white gentrifying folk who were scared to leave their homes, like, "Oh my God, I can't leave the house without some type of protection." It also appears that MC Ren is not a fan of the softness of this new generation across the board. He raps, dudes was raised by Superfly, while these other corny dudes by Wi-Fi. Ren also addresses police brutality and racism, so we are getting some cool political and social commentary from the OG over this soulful and funky beat. Hearing Ren on such an instrumental is bound to take one back to the sounds of the early 90s, but he did update the content so it was suited for the time. The following track is Time, which has a smooth, mellow, and synth-heavy instrumental with some scratching at the end. For this one, MC Ren reflects back to the golden era and how he feels that time period was so much better because everyone was different and they didn't care about trends. So Ren obviously feels comfortable assuming this old head type of energy. And I can dig it, but the thing is, I lived back in the 90s and there was some bullshit that we even had to sift through back then. Otherwise, Common wouldn't have made tracks like I Used to Love Her, and we never would have gotten like a track like One Day from J. Rue the Damager. But this was a solid track with reflective lyrics and a dope beat to back it. The second to last song is Hub City Love featuring The Chill, Bree, and Cocaine. It has a darker piano heavy beat that is drenched in funk, and once again there's scratching. We get Cocaine and Bree on the hook, and I've yet to really hear Cocaine ever miss on a hook. You can always count on him to deliver in the most pimpish and gangsterish ways imaginable when he's doing his hooks. The Chill sets it off with a dope verse reminiscing about the OGs who came before him, but it is Ren who I feel delivers his strongest verse on this project. Ren paints a vivid picture of his hood, Hub City, so he's showing love to his street origins. Then this EP wraps up with the posse track, The Anthem, which features 5 West Coast vets: The Chill, Razcast, J.O. Felony, Cole 187, and JD. This is set to a gritty, bass-heavy beat. Now, Razcast had the best verse, which shouldn't come as much of a surprise, but I would say it was followed up by Ren and J.O. Felony. MC Ren raps, I'll take it slow, like DJ Screw, only one villain, there can never be two. It's a strong and nostalgic way to close this EP out, as I really dug how we got all of these OGs bringing the heat. Overall, I give this EP a rating of 3.5 mics. In terms of the production, I feel The Chill delivered, even though I wasn't necessarily crazy about the ice cream sample flip. And it was great to hear from MC Ren after all this time. Now, truthfully, I did find his bars to be a little more rudimentary and less intricate than any of his past work by far. But he still had some things to say, and he did bring that OG presence and authenticity to this project. It is impressive to hear Ren still rap with a passion at age 52 years old and to continue to bring the listener that raw, unadulterated Black Raiders hat music. My favorite tracks include Keep It Gangsta, The News, Time, and The Anthem. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. MC Ren, Osiris, 1.